your experience or your take on the distinction between being taught and receiving teachings. If for you that there are two different things. I've heard some lamas say that these are two different things.
I wonder how they would make that distinction in Tibetan. I think it's just language.
Actually, the specific context that it came up in was that Khenpos and tutors and acharyas, their purpose was to teach you. And then from great masters, you received teachings that, that it's not so much a frontal lobe kind of thing, I guess we could say.
Yes, so I think that would again depend on what the Tibetan terms are that they're thinking of.
Okay.
In English, we don't have those terms, so that's why they're doing it that way. Of course, I mean, there's a big difference between sitting in a lecture and getting a commentary on the Bodhicharyavatara or the Madhyamakavatara from a Khenpo, or even a great, Lama who's a Khenpo, and getting mind-to-mind teachings from someone like Ujjain Tulku or any of the great lamas. It is indeed dealing on a whole different level of your being. It's not dealing with your mind; it's dealing with the essence of your being. And so, like Dzogchen teachings or Mahamudra teaching can be given in two ways. They can be given as a kind of a commentary on the various levels of the Mahamudra and the various levels of the Dzogchen, and given in a very intellectual way. Or they can be given as a teaching, which is a mind-to-mind transmission, of course. And then that would be very different.
Okay.
That is not intended to inform your intellect. It's intended to open your mind, heart mind.
I guess I'm curious whether mind-to-mind transmission is something that is, I guess we might say is just fruitional, that either you're prepared and ready for it and things happen, or whether there's any kind of inflection of intent, or if there's something that you can tap into to become more receptive.
Well, the point is always, all you can do is learn to be open. I mean, for example, one woman I knew, an older woman, and basically I think she was more Gelugpa, English woman. And she attended the Lama dances here. And she was just sitting in the audience. And at that time, the previous Kampa Rinpoche was dancing. And she was just watching. And then as he turned round, he looked at her. And in that moment, she realized the nature of the mind. And he wasn't her Lama or anything. And the thing was that at that moment, she must have been very open and had that kind of devotion, but it wasn't self-conscious devotion. And so in that moment of openness, he was able to transmit. The problem is that if you're getting a mind-to-mind transmission, then you're all keyed up, and that very sense of self-consciousness prevents it actually occurring. You have to be open. Trungpa Rinpoche described it as like a corridor with two doors on either, at both ends, and they both have to open. Not just the Lama, but also the student, and then the transmission takes place. But it's very difficult if you know it's going to happen.